Welcome to Buzzard's Corner of Love, where you can think outside the box and do something you've never done before. Angels, go on an adventure. Possibly you can allow yourself some alone time and give yourself the opportunity of self love and self care. There's that and so many more ideas that you can use as you think outside the box. I am Heather Buzzard from Buzzard's Corner of Love, bringing people back to themselves, where we uplift and inspire you to become more who you truly came here to be. Welcome, angels, to our show. Silence is golden. The theme for the month is boundaries and self empowerment. So, every video that we do throughout this month will have that theme of self empowerment and boundaries. So, if you're one that needs to have have challenges with self empowerment or challenges with setting boundaries, or would just like some more information about that, join us here this month, as that is our theme. Put in the chat below what it is that you may be struggling with, or that you may have a difficult time setting boundaries for, or put in the chat below what it is that you'd like to be more and self-empowered about, whether it be in trust, faith, belief, self-esteem, self-confidence. Put that in the chat below. Put in a 1 if you're grateful and appreciative that you have a lot of confidence. Put in a 2 if you think you need some work in that area. You put all those comments down in the chat below. Yeah, today, angels, silence is golden. We're going to share with you why that is. But let me first of all give you a beginning of the overall what silence is. Silence in a spiritual context. Silence is a gateway to inner peace. It's a space to connect with your higher self or divine presence, which allows you a deep ability to contemplate and the ability to build a relationship with your higher self. And angels, I will tell you that is the truth, because as I learned on my spiritual journey, and the more that I meditated, the more that I allowed myself to be quiet and silenced my mind, the deeper my relationship became with my inner spirit. Whereas today it is second nature. And that's what it can be for you as well. In fact, that's what it is supposed to be, natural and second nature. It is the outside noise of the world that has allowed us to get so off track with social media and the TV and the radio and people calling. And now that we have these cell phones in our hands, the phones are constantly ringing or buzzing for texting and all of that. And yet we have our family and all of that we deal with as well. Yet how much time do you spend in the silence, and are you comfortable with the silence? I remember there was a time as I was walking on my spiritual journey. I'm still walking on my spiritual journey. Yet back then, there was a time that I read, when you are comfortable with being in the elevator and having that elevator silence, then you are comfortable with yourself. Are you comfortable in the elevator with strangers in that silence? I always check myself. I have come to train myself to be that way. And that is true, angels. When you're able to be in a space of calmness and peace with yourself in an elevator of strangers, you know you have accomplished that space of peacefulness. Try it the next time you get on an elevator. Be aware of how you feel. That's where conscious awareness comes into play. Be aware of how you feel. So, as we move on, silence encourages rest for our bodies, for our minds, and our spirits, providing an opportunity for life to refresh our soul, for the rejuvenation of life to refresh our souls. That is why silence and rest is so important. Yet being silent, it encourages that, because it gives your body an opportunity to relax. You can do deep breathing work to allow your mind to become silent. There are so many ways, angels, that you can allow yourself to really be silent and know that silence truly is golden, because silence is powerful. And when you're silent, then as you adapt, and grow this muscle within yourself, you will come to understand and know when there's a time to speak and when there isn't a time to speak. I know for myself personally, knowing that silence is golden now. I know that today. Yet back in the day of my path, I used to talk to everybody about everything all the time, as much as I could say, as long as I could say it. And I tell you, I remember people telling me, Heather, there's going to come a time when you're going to have to learn to be quiet and not tell everybody everything. And that is where discernment came into play, angels. So if you are a person of discernment, then you know what it is we speak of. And discernment is wisdom, because as I've allowed myself to become discerning, there are things that I speak about, and then there are things that I hold back just to myself. I'll give you another example. When you're moving through transformation and you're going through something, and you really don't desire the outside opinions of others, we here at Buzzard's Corner of Love suggest that you keep that to yourself. Allow that to just be between you and you, between you and you. If you need an outlet, write it out, pray, go to an impartial prayer line and allow yourself, or talk to an impartial person if you need to get out, to get it out. Yet allow it to just be between you and you, because then you aren't allowing the outside opinions of others to influence your choices, and you don't second guess yourself. That's what I've come to understand. By keeping it silent within me, then I've come to be able to transform and allow myself to move into that space. And then after I've moved into that space, angels, that's when I will speak to people about it. And let me say something to you. On the third Sunday of every month in our church, we have a testimony Sunday. And I get up and testify because I do allow the power of God to work through me. Yet, this transformation that is happening within me, and I've shared some of it with my angels on my podcast and on my radio show at that time when I was moving through those health challenges. Yet other things were happening in my life as well as doing mirror work and things of that nature. And people see the outcome, the end result of it, or how it is towards the end. Yet they don't see the work that you put into it. My whole point in saying this, angels, is that silence is a powerful tool. Yet if you don't put in the work to use that silence, to use that energy, then it won't work for you. And you may say, well, what do you mean by putting in the work? Say you have an experience happening in your life, like we said, or you're setting a new goal for yourself. Be quiet about it. Don't go around and tell everybody about it. Don't get other people's opinions and suggestions and all of that, because this is a goal between you and you. If anybody, go within yourself and allow your higher self to speak to you and to guide and lead you. Your inner spirit will never, ever, ever lead you wrong. So as we move on, angels, terms of space. The immensity inside the cave of the heart space, is the oasis of the quiet, the inner sanctuary. It is the inner castle, the sacred center where God dwells, is our heart space. And I can remember a time when I used to run around asking people, when is all this knowledge that I read going to drop into the heart space? And it does drop eventually. I couldn't tell you when it happened, yet it does occur. And when that knowledge drops into that heart space, then you can allow yourself to feel life happening instead of just thinking about and knowing about it. You can actually feel it and incorporate and walk through life in that feeling tone. And angels, when you walk through life in that feeling tone, you will know when to be quiet and when to speak. In fact, I tell myself to be quiet. I'm like, okay, Heather, shut up. Just be quiet, be quiet. I catch myself now. I know when to speak and I know when not to speak. And sometimes I speak when I shouldn't, but 90% of the time, angels, I come to a space where I will use that discernment and only speak about what it is that I choose to speak about, knowing that other people's opinions and thoughts can influence me. And that's what it is for you as well. Think about that. Other people's opinions and thoughts can influence you. Yet allow that knowledge that you have incorporated about spirituality, about your faith, trust, and belief, allow that to drop into your heart space by just being, thanking, being grateful and appreciative. And it will drop into your heart space, angels. We guarantee that. As we move on, you can practice active listening. Do you know what active listening is? I know that I can tell the difference between when I'm listening to somebody or when I'm hearing somebody. When I'm just hearing somebody, I'm quick to interrupt and quick to get in my opinion and things of that nature. Yet when I'm listening to somebody, then I allow myself that space to be quiet and to really hear what it is that they're saying. There is a difference, angels, and I didn't think there was at one time in my life, yet there is. Do you hear people or do you listen to people, or do you do both? You hear some and listen to some and hear some. What is it for you? Put in the comment section down below what it is that you do, if you hear people or if you listen to them, and put in the reasons why if you do. We always like to know what it is that you think here at Buzzard's Corner of Love. Share with us, as this is your community too. As we move on, angels, you can allow pauses in your conversations. When you're speaking with people, do you allow yourself to just ramble on and on and on and you can't catch your breath? Or do you allow yourself to just talk, take a pause, allow what has been said to sink in, and then move on? That's great effect. And that's one thing that we've come to learn here on Buzzard's Corner of Love by doing our shows and even in our podcasts. We used to start off talking, just rambling. And now we've come to understand that it's easier to just allow ourselves to speak in a slower manner, to give a pause, and to allow that what it is to be said for people to catch it. Because sometimes people need to catch up with themselves to really hear what it is that is being said. Also, angels, you can have reflection before responding to a situation. You can reflect on what it is that you'd like to say before you respond to a situation or to an activity or a circumstance in your life. Do you respond to life or do you react to life? If you respond to life, put a 1 in the chat below. If you react to life, put a 2 in the chat below. If you don't do either, put a heart space. If you don't have any opinion, put a heart in the chat. Yet, angels, just share with us, what is it that you do? Do you react to life or respond? And you can tell the difference in your body as well. Because when you respond to life, you're in a more calming manner and you allow yourself to be calm and to speak what it is that you'd like to say in a calm way. Instead of reacting, you're more tense and you have a more angst energy behind you that you may be using. And I know the difference between the two because I've been in both of them. So, angels, as we continue on speaking about silence and how you can use that in your life, ask yourself if you're willing to give yourself time to have that silence, if you're willing to make the space for it in your life, even if you have to go out and sit in your car and just sit in your car for 5 minutes and do some deep breathing work and give yourself that opportunity of silence. We guarantee you here at Buzzard's Corner of Love, it is powerful and you will see a change in your life. We guarantee you will. So as we move on, angels, knowing that those are what you can have in your life, knowing that also it boosts your creativity. Silence boosts your creativity because it allows ideas and thoughts to flow into your consciousness. When you're in a calm space, you're not in any kind of angst energy, or you aren't thinking about things and trying to figure things out. Life can flow to you. Life can come to you. I've experienced it. I experience it. It is true. So allowing yourself to be silent boosts your creativity because you will be like, oh wow, where did that thought come from? I never thought about that before. How can I implement that? How can I be doing have this? Also, using silent meditation helps to be mindful. And when you're in silent meditation, it allows you to be mindful about your circumstances and situations, about who you are, where it is you're going, what it is you may be doing and having. So being mindful is powerful, angels. That's a powerful energy that you can use in your life. Also, it impacts a situation, any situation that may be going in your life. When you're more mindful, then you're able to allow yourself more grace. You're able to allow yourself to be flexible, and you're able to remind yourself that everything doesn't have to happen right now, and that you can move through this circumstance situation with ease and grace. Silence is golden, angels. That is just ways that silence, that you can use silence. We're going to give you 5 ways that you can incorporate silence into your life, that you can do this right here, right now. The first off is to start your morning with silence. If you're able to give yourself 5 minutes in the morning every day to just start out in silence, you will see a powerful shift in your life. We think we need to talk and talk and talk and talk, yet society has been talking for so long, and look at the mess that we are in. If we allowed ourselves to be quiet and kept our thoughts and in circumstances, situations to ourselves and didn't complain and gripe and just all the negativity out there, this world would be a different space, angels. Just think about it. Even in your life, your own life, if you speak negativity in your own life, think of how different your life would be by cleaning that up. I noticed for me, myself personally, I am aware when I speak negatively and I'm aware when I speak positively. And I choose to speak positively because then that is what comes back to me. And the law of attraction works either way, both positive and negative. Yet as you become more consciously aware of who you are, then you will be more conscious about the words and how you speak and what it is that you send out there. So as we move on, angels, we're going to share 5 ways that you can incorporate silence in your life. If you'd like to get a pen and paper, you can write these 5 ways down. Yet these are ways that you can simply incorporate silence into your life right now. The first, like we said, is to start your morning off with silence. The second is to take silent breaks, whether it's in your home or whether it's in your workspace. To get off the computer, get off the phone, get away from technology, and give yourself the opportunity to be in a quiet space, even if it's just 2 minutes, and just allow yourself to be quiet. Do some breathing and watch and notice how your body responds, how you feel in your consciousness. Just allow yourself that opportunity to realize that as you give yourself this this silent break. And you can do that throughout the day. You can even do it while you're driving. Turn off the radio. If you're in the car by yourself, just give yourself that time to be quiet while you're driving home. The third tip is go for a mindful walk in silence. Take out the earplugs, take out the iPhones, get rid of the phones. Just allow yourself to be out there in nature. Listen to the birds chirping. Listen to the city noise if you're in the city. Listen to the wind. Listen to the branches. Listen to the sound underneath your feet, the ground underneath your feet. Listen to nature, angels, and allow yourself that mindful time of walking. And walking is one of the best exercise. Well, walking is the best exercise to do. And you feel good when you walk. That's something we've incorporated into our life more. We've incorporated it on 3 times a week we walk. And we feel so good afterwards. And it helps your body. It gets your whole body flowing and your cells are vibrating and you feel good. So give yourself that opportunity to get outside in nature and to walk and to be mindful when you're walking, contemplate, reflect, speak with your higher self. Another way, angels, is unplug technology. Unplug yourself from technology at least an hour a day. If you aren't able to start for an hour, start for 10 minutes. With 5 minutes if you need to. But give yourself that opportunity to unplug with technology and just give yourself that space to just be. Whether you're just sitting outside, whether you're just sitting in your home, whatever it may be doing, but allow yourself to unplug and get away from the computers and the phones, because you know that is energy that is always constantly with us. That's a living energy, a vibrating energy that we carry around in our back pockets and in our purses and all of that. So give yourself that break. Unplug from technology. Remind yourself of the days of before all of this even came into play, if you are in that space before technology. And number 5, angels, you can end your day with reflection. End your day with some silent reflection. Allow yourself the opportunity to look back on your day and to notice how it is that you spoke with people, to notice how it is that you felt throughout the day, how you responded to situations, how you spoke to yourself. It is when you become consciously aware, and silence is a golden tool to use. When you become consciously aware of how you're behaving in life, that you're able to change it, because then that's where the acknowledgement comes into play. Angels, silence is truly golden. So, as we wrap up this conversation, in what ways are you willing, out of these 5 ways, in what ways are you willing to use silence in your life? Put in the chat below what of the 5 ways that you'd like to use silence and incorporate it in your life so that you can have a smoother life, a better life. And also, do you believe that you're worthy and deserving to have peace, that you can walk through life with ease and grace? Do you believe that about yourself? I tell you, angels, I'm going to tell you a little story. I remember reading way back on my spiritual path that it said, when you're able to be comfortable in an elevator with strangers, then you truly have come into peace with yourself. When we go onto an elevator, we're in an elevator of total strangers, and it is silent in there. Are you comfortable with that silence? I know for me, I made myself comfortable with that silence. And as I did that, now I can go onto an elevator today and know that I am at peace with myself. Yet that's just an indicator to know that. Try it sometime. Be aware of how you feel when you are on an elevator if you aren't conscious of it. This is how conscious awareness comes into play. This is how you become conscious of your life, so that as you become conscious of your life, angels, you can make choices such as being silent, which is why silent is golden. Silence is attached to calming energy. When you're silent, you are calming. And we're going to have our calming meditation next week, angels. And our theme of the month is self-empowerment and boundaries. So knowing that self-empowerment is being silent, self-empowerment is calming, boundaries, in order to stand in your boundaries and to stand by your boundaries, you need to be self-empowered. So that is our theme throughout the month. And as we move through that, these videos will help you incorporate that into your life. And like we said at the beginning of the show, if there's something that you need help with regarding boundary-wise or self-empowerment, put it down in the chat below. Angels, for me personally, you have to work the tools. It doesn't work unless you work it. It's good to hear it. It's good to listen to this video and agree with what it is we're saying. And at the end of the day, you put the video away and you keep moving forward. Yet, if you don't change anything, and if you aren't willing to incorporate anything new in your life, then your life experience can't be new. And that's what spirituality and self-empowerment and personal transformation is about, is recreating yourself anew in the next grandest version of the greatest vision ever of who you are, and being consciously aware of it while you're doing and having that. And I tell you, angels, it is powerful. And the more clear that I become as I walk this path, the more that I do my videos here on YouTube and I do my Thursday show on Win Women TV. In truth, really, angels, I'm only speaking to myself. The more clear I become within myself, the more confident I stand in my spiritual power. And you can too. So as you move forward today and in your life, just take these nuggets, what resonated with you, use them in your life, knowing that silence is a golden tool to use. And the next time you're in a conversation or something that you may agree with, be silent, smile, turn, and walk the other way. Next week, angels, we're going to have our calming meditation, as the second Tuesday of every month is our Meditation Tuesday. Join us for that, as that will help self-empower you, and help you with boundaries as well. That's next Tuesday. Angels, you can go to buzzardscorner.com, BUZZARDSKORNER, buzzardscorner with a K.com. Angels, you can check out our blog posting, pick up our empowerment, self-empowerment packages. We have 3 different levels over there. I'm sure there's one that will fit for you if you'd like support and upliftment, encouragement, and inspiration, as well as our spiritual toolkit. Angels, you can download our ebook, 8 Easy Steps to Improve Your Life Now, at lulu.com, as well as over on our website, Angels. You can check out and join our communities on our Facebook page, on our X page, also our YouTube community here, right here. Angels, you can like and subscribe to our channel and our videos. We are grateful and appreciative to have this with you. So again, that's all available, Angels, at buzzardscorner.com. That's BUZZARDSKORNER, Buzzards Corner with a K.com. Next week again, calmness meditation, second Tuesday of every month. Until then, Angels, I am Heather Buzzard of Buzzard's Corner of Love, bringing people back to themselves.